As the very real possibility of war is brewing in Westeros, Rhaenayra gathers her council on Dragonstone to plan her next steps, trying her best to avoid drawing first blood and prevent lives from being lost. Eager to take more responsibility, her sons Jaycerys and Lucerys volunteer to go on a tour throughout the most important castles in the Seven Kingdoms and remind their lords and ladies of the fealty they swore to Rhaenyra as heir to the Iron Throne. While Jace is going north, Luke has just a short round trip to Storm's End to treat with Lord Borros Baratheon but never comes back. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and also click on the notification bell to remain updated. At Storm's End, Luke was met with hostility by Lord Borros, who already had another guest, Prince AemOn Targaryen, the one whose eye Luke had to stab all those years ago in the episode, Driftmark. Extremely vicious, AemOn taunts Lucerys and goes after him after the young prince as he flees. Luke bravely and skillfully maneuvers his dragon Arrax through the permanent storm that engulfs the Stormlands, but doesn't survive after Vaygar disobeys AemOn and kills the young Velaryon and his mount. AemOn watches aghast as his prank goes terribly wrong and will be the trigger that starts the war. As this event is told in Fire and Blood, there are some discrepancies between House of the Dragon and George R.R. Martin's book. They carry the same essence on both mediums, though. In the book, the accounts of Archmaester Gildain and the Fool Mushroom state that Rhaenyra also pleaded to her sons to not get involved in any fighting, and made them swear it before the Seven-Pointed Star, the holy book of the faith in the A Song of Ice and Fire universe. Lucerys was expected to be back shortly from Storm's End, as he was still very young and was still consolidating the bond with his dragon, Arrax. His mother also expected him to have a warm welcome from Lord Borros, who she thought would be proud to host a royal prince in his halls. Rhaenyra misread Borros' pride, however, and her plan backfired. Borros was livid to see Lucerys act as an envoy from his mother without any offerings. He then asked which of his daughters Lucerys was going to pick to wed, to which the prince replied he couldn't, as he was already betrothed to his cousin, Rhaenys Targaryen. Borros immediately sent the boy back to tell his mother to not have expected the Lord of Storm's End to obey like a dog. Borros was indeed proud, and he didn't care that his late father, Lord Bormund, had sworn an oath to support Rhaenyra. Perhaps if Lucerys had arrived sooner. But he hadn't. Unfortunately, AemOn Targaryen was already at Storm's End, and had already pledged to wed Borros Baratheon. After Lucerys was turned away by Borros, AemOn revealed the sapphire he placed in his eye socket after losing his eye to the young prince years before, and went after him saying he owed a debt, and should give either his eye, or his life. Lord Borros intervened and had Lucerys escorted back to Arrax, as Aemon asked him for his leave. The Lord of Storm's End said he didn't care what AemOn did outside his halls, so the Targaryen prince went after his nephew after being taunted by Merys, who asked him if Luke had removed his balls, as well as the eye. The battle itself is not narrated in Fire and Blood, but the accounts of it vary a lot. The most important aspect is that AemOn seems to have killed Lucerys and his dragon on purpose, with Vaygar acting according to his commands. Luke and Arrax were indeed swifter than AemOn and Vaygar in the skies, but the storm was an impediment for them. The younger dragon had trouble fighting under such conditions and was facing the 5 times bigger Vaygar, so, according to Gildain, if there was a battle, it couldn't have lasted long. Arrax's head and neck washed up on the shores of Storm's End 3 days later, but Lucerys' body was never found. Mushroom claims that AemOn did find his nephew's corpse and cut its eyes out to present to Borros Baratheon, but Gildain states that is highly unlikely. Other accounts say that Lucerys survived the skirmish and lost all memory, living as a simple fisherman afterward, of that he was swallowed whole by Vaygar. Again, mostly hearsay. Something that was kept from the original story in the books is the death of Lucerys as the trigger for the Dance of Dragons to begin. When AemOn returned to King's Landing, his mother, Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower, was terrified to learn of Lucerys' death by her own son's hands, or dragon. Even his grandfather, the power-hungry hand of the King Otto Hightower, was taken aback, asking AemOn how he could have been so blind since he'd only lost one eye. His brother, King Aegon II, however, was extremely happy and offered a feast to toast the beginning of the war. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.